Hi, I'm Pati and welcome back to A Small Geeky Chica Figures. Today we're continuing with our Nendoroid Collection video with entry number 43, number 858, BB-8 from the hit movie series Star Wars. BB-8 specifically from the sequel trilogy. Last time we did a Nendoroid video, we actually did Princess Leia from the original trilogy, and I had mentioned how I was surprised there was no R2-D2 that went along with her, especially based on one of her poses. But because these Nendoroids came out around the time the sequel trilogy was being released, the most popular droid of the time was BB-8, and I do enjoy BB-8, so I ended up getting him as a Nendoroid, and I think he's super cute as a Nendoroid, even though he is the same size as the Star Wars Nendoroid, so they don't work together that well in photos unless you do some forced perspective kind of stuff. But anyways, let's take a look at the BB-8 because he is such a cute little droid. He comes with a bunch of different poses, even though he's basically a ball. But yeah, you can get part of his like mechanical arm, I guess I'll say, coming out and being able to do little things like fire and grab stuff. He also has these little like pieces that he can sit on that helps him stand that look like sand, so it makes it look like he's trailing in the sand, because he also was found on a sand planet, but not Tatooine. What was it, Jakku? I don't remember. It's been a while since I've watched those movies. They're definitely not my favorite part of the Star Wars mainline movies, like the episodes, but I do like BB-8. I think he was a fun design, and so I am excited to get this little dude out of his box. So let's do that. Okay, let's get BB-8 out of his box. Okay, before we take a look at him, I do want to just point out, I don't know if you can see it very well. Let me see if I can pull it out a little bit. But the box does also, like Princess Leia's, come with a little backdrop that you can use if you do any photography with him and just make it look a little more interesting. But let's see, yeah, if I can put this back in this box. And sometimes they're a little complicated to fit in. But this one didn't give me that much of a hard time. Let's get the box around. And here we have BB-8. And like always, let's take a look at his booklet before we open him up. So this one does come with quite a bit of extra instructions, even though he only has so many parts. As you can see, we have the main BB-8 body. Let's keep moving. This one little extra piece that I believe you change in his middle so that he can use some of his arm parts. And then he has his little sand stand. So here it tells you how you can twist and put in those separate parts right there, so you know what you're doing, and then how to attach basically the little arm parts to it. So you can give him doing the little flame, which is kind of his like thumbs up, if I remember correctly from the movie, and his little hand to grab stuff. And then it shows you how to attach his antenna, so you can swap those out in his head to make it look like he's moving really fast. I'm sorry about that, I had a little interruption. Where was I? I think I was talking about how to attach these parts, because he has this little antenna that looks like it's being pushed back by the wind when he's moving really fast. So just to give an illusion of movement to BB-8. And then of course it's in Japanese on the other side. So let's get this boy out of the blister. Do that a little bit carefully because a lot of these parts went jumping, just like with Princess Leia. That looks like great. Okay, so let's get BB-8 out of here. Have you guys gotten used to the new box layout? I think most of them going forward are going to look like this. I might have some that were still in the older, bigger box, but here we have BB-8, and as you can see, his head is magnetic, so you can move it around. I think you can put it in most spots, except this doesn't seem very magnetic right there, but like most of it is quite magnetic. And as you can see, mine already has the one that you can use with his arms attached. Well, let's see if we can move that. So that was wasn't too bad. A little tough to get your first grip, but once you got it, it's pretty easy to move around. And then we're gonna swap out to his regular one. So there is, if you can tell, there is a thinner little slot and a little thicker slot. And then one of these is thinner and thicker, so that lets you know, okay, where they're supposed to go in. And you kind of just eyeball it, and there he is. And then you just clip his head right there. You can adjust it to however you want. And then his stand is very similar. Oh, this has a nice little like rubbery silicone feel. And then it, let me put BB-8 down for 1 second. As you can see, when I just took it apart, accidentally it attaches like that. So hold on, and then you can just pop it open like that. And this is attached on this side. Can we take it off? And yeah, you can take that off as well if you don't want it to stick out. And then this also has a magnet, so BB-8 just snaps right down like that. And then it's really easy to make him stand. He really does need this though, because as he is round, he will just fall to the side. So want him to stand, you need to use his special little stand. But he looks super adorable. And as you can see, he has his little antenna, which if I remember correctly, you just kind of push out. You gotta push it down. And just take off his head. And then, oh, I didn't notice, but he is also scuffed. I'm like, what did I do? They scuffed all of them. Yeah, well, hold on. Let me look in the instructions to see how exactly we take this antenna off. Okay. It says hole. Apply excessive force may result in product damage or personal injury. So you gotta kind of push it out. Not quite sure how. And then it's been so long since I've done this one. There's no good way to... Oh, never mind. There is a good way to push it out. You just push this and it pushes it out for you. Ha ha ha. Oh yeah, that's totally what it's saying right there. I'm so dumb. Yeah, it says push that and then that'll pop out. Cool, because there's like no way to grip it otherwise. So then we just, don't be like me. Read the instructions. They will help you. But yeah, that makes it look like he's going really fast. Phew, phew. Remember that. And then that's when you probably want to attach this. So put that one in that hole right there. Okay, let's take BB-8 out. Oh, there's a little slot right there where it perfectly nudges into. And then you put this here. It's good, good. And you put BB-8 right there, and it looks like he is moving really fast because he's being chased. He's gotta go fast, like Sonic. But yeah, that's pretty much it for BB-8. I'm gonna put his regular one on. Of course, always take off the body because then the head just kind of slides along, and that will bounce really far. So just be careful where you're doing it so he doesn't fall somewhere you don't want him to fall. And then can't recover the piece. Let's see. Let's put one of his arms in. Let's see if we do that. You can see he has a little white slot there, and then it has a little hole right in there. That has a very specific shape. It's kind of like a diamond shape, and so you just put it in right there, and perfectly fits in there. And then, as you saw me do earlier, I can't remember which one of these ones it is. I think it's this one. Yeah, they all kind of look alike, so you just gotta. No, you should theoretically pop out, but I don't know why it doesn't want to come out right now. Yeah, BB-8 does not seem to like me today. Oh shit. Excuse my language. I don't know if you saw that, but basically it came out and it made a funny sound, and I was kind of afraid that I had broken it for a second there. Luckily, none of that happened, but like I said, be careful. be more careful than me. And then you can have him be like that and be like, thumbs up. Also, I have fire. Fire. But yeah, that is pretty much all for BB-8. He's relatively simple. Let's take him off the stand for right now. He doesn't have a lot of poses, but he is super cute. And I do know that I've taken at least one photo of him in some sand when I was doing some photo shoots back when I originally got him. And that's how I got this little scuff on him without noticing. Should probably put him into some soapy water and hopefully that'll take care of that. But that is it for today. If you enjoyed this video, I hope you consider liking and subscribing. I post videos every Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific time. They're usually Nendoroid Collection videos like this one, but every now and then I also do blind box unboxings. I believe last week's we had another blind box unboxing where we did some Dragon Ball and some Pop Mart Chaka. And I do intend to do more in the future. I will be having a trip to Japan this year, so hopefully I'll buy some over there a little bit cheaper. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. I also run a Stationery Shop, YouTube, and online store. So if you're interested in like stickers, washi tape, sticky notes, things like that, you can go check me out at asmallgeekychica.com. I also have my YouTube channel, like I said, for my Stationery Shop, which is just A Small Geeky Chica. Yeah, and I haven't done it yet, but I am planning at some point this year to also add some of my Nendoroid crochet, like my little sweaters. I make beanies, thinking about making some scarves, maybe some dresses. We'll see. I will definitely also add those to my shop, as well as any de-stash from my blind box unboxings, stuff that I'm not particularly keen on keeping because either it's not for me or it was a duplicate. So if you're also interested in checking those out, do also check asmallgeekychica.com, but I'll let you know when those things go live. That's it for today. I hope to see you next week. Bye bye.